Welcome to The Right Stuff from Goldspot Pens, a podcast about pens and the people that write with them. I'm your host, Tom Otto. In this episode, I'll share some new pens that arrived this week from Turkey and Italy, offer tips on how to go on a no pen buy diet, and give away something on my desk. The first set of pens mentioned in this week's newsletter were all from Turkey from the brand Kilk. And unlike most acrylic fountain pens made around the world, Kilk pens are beautiful, hand-turned resin with 925 sterling silver appointments and a fine-tuned box stainless steel nib. Turkish art influences the geometric pattern metalwork design present on all Kilk pens. First, we're going to take a look at the Celestial. These are acrylic pens with sterling silver decorations. There's two new colors. So there's the blue chipped, which is all blue, including the grip section, has tones of lilac, purple, light blue, very soft looking, very pastel-y type of color palette. And then you have the blue and black chipped version, which reminds me a lot of the Esterbrook Nouveau Blue material because it has dark navy blue marbled acrylic with mixture of brown, it looks like. So there's like some brown veining that'll go in there. And both of them have the same aged 925 sterling silver accents, which have a sort of creamy satin look about them. It says 925K underneath the clip, which I think is pretty cool. It's pretty difficult to see, but I'll describe it to you. So this collection is called the Celestial because in traditional Turkish art, geometric patterns often represent heavenly bodies and celestial order. The 12-cornered pattern on the silver band refers to the complex order of the astronomic zodiac. These pens are fitted with a number 6 size box stainless steel nib, available extra fine through double broad. It fills by cartridge or converter, of which is international style, and the converter is included with the pen. Now, I feel that Bock kind of gets a bad rap, and one of the things that happens a lot with Bock nibs is that their quality control can be rather spotty. And we've seen this with Leonardo pens and with other brands that dabble into using Bock nibs. And Kilk will compensate for that by tuning and testing every single nib that leaves. And we could attest to the commitment to that quality control by the fact that we hardly get any Kilk pens back. These pens are pens that people get, they write right out of the box, and they love it. So one of the 5-star reviews I can share with you is from Cynthia R. And Cynthia writes of the Celestial fountain pen, "One of the most beautiful pens I own. Wrote perfect as soon as I inked it. Good broad nib with great flow, and even greater with drier ink I used. I will be getting another one of theirs for sure." The next collection we'll take a look at is the Orient. So the Orient is similar to the constitution of the Celestial in that it's acrylic and sterling silver. And with these acrylics, it's a little bit different. So you have a very chatoyant acrylic here in the dark beige. And then we have another marbled type design in the red chipped. And the Orient is inspired by the natural tension of curves in Eastern design philosophy. The Orient has a seductive, pleasing shape. It's very natural looking with some cool looking curves here. These fountain pens are also fitted with a number 6 size box stainless steel nib, available in nib sizes extra fine through double broad. Also including the standard international style converter and a polishing cloth to polish up your sterling silver appointments. And last for the new designs, we have the Novo Baroque two-tone with nichrome trim. So these are not sterling silver like the others. You can see obviously they look a lot brighter and they don't have that sort of creamy look about the metal. If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. Sorry, it's an art history joke. Kilk's workshop revisits the Turkish Baroque and Rococo periods of Ottoman art with the decorated cigar shape of the Novo Baroque fountain pen. It does not have a clip, obviously, you see that here, it does not have a clip, but it does have an ornate roll stop. So you would cap the pen, put it on a table, and that little decoration right there would stop it from rolling right off the table. This pen also has a number 6 size box stainless steel nib, available in the same nib grades, extra fine through double broad. And it also has a converter as well. Now, this one is a little bit less expensive than the other ones. It starts at $165. The Orients are listed at $260. Then the Celestials you have at $295 on the Goldspot website. The next pen we featured is the Visconti Divina Elegance in Wave. At the heart of the Visconti Divina's pen design is the golden ratio, a mathematical expression that is thought to reflect a divine order naturally pleasing to the eye. The power and elegance of the sea are captured in the new collection, and the Divina features a classic spiral shape recalling the Nautilus, a symbol of divine proportion. This new design has a seafoam green acrylic resin body, which is twisted and spiraled like the Nautilus shell. Polished sterling silver and palladium accents then accent the ripples, or let's say the crests of the wave. The fountain pen version, which I have here, fills using a twist and pull piston fill mechanism. So in order to engage the piston fill mechanism, you just pull down on this little knob here and then turn it in order to move then the piston that's inside the pen that you wouldn't see because this is solid acrylic. The nib fitted on here is an 18-karat white gold nib, available in extra fine, medium, broad, or stub nib. Other hallmarks of this Visconti design is, of course, the Visconti spring-loaded arc clip up here. And you have the Visconti medallion, which is part of the My Pen system. This can be removed using a magnet and then replaced using a variety of different My Pen system accessories like gemstones, zodiac symbols, and initials. So there's an initial that kind of looks like a yin and yang symbol, which one half would have the first initial, second half would have the other initial. And you'd be able to place that on the top of your pen if you choose, or if you just want to stick with the Visconti V medallion, you could leave it just as that. It looks great with either way. As with the Homo sapiens and other Visconti pens, this Divina Elegance has the hook-safe lock capping mechanism, which only takes a very small push and turn to uncap the pen and to cap it as well. So it's a very quick pen capping mechanism as opposed to just a typical screw cap, which then you would have to turn the pen a few different times, depending upon how many turns you'd have to turn it. But this one is just a very small, let's say 1/8 of a turn and a press, and you have the pen ready to write. Now, because this is Visconti, and this is also a different caliber of type of pen, because you have the 18-karat gold nib and a cool little doohickey filling system here. These are a little bit more on the pricier end than the Kilks are. The fountain pens sell on sale, street price, for $1,036. The rollerball version is available for $716, and the ballpoint version is $476. Next, we have another pen from Italy. This is the Scribo Feel Palissandro Ebonite Fountain Pen. In a partnership between Scribo and Goldspot Pens, we proudly present this limited edition design made from vulcanized modeled ebonite. Palissandro translates to rosewood in Italian and perfectly describes the organic look and feel of this ebonite material. The pen's faceted shape accentuates the ripples and swirls of color present in this ebonite. Gold appointments highlight the luxury and vintage appeal of this fountain pen design. Now, between us choosing the perfect European ebonite colors and Scribo fine-tuning their manufacturing technique to craft their first ebonite feel fountain pen ever, it took about a year for us to release this pen to the world. Its 10-faceted curving barrel really accentuates the mottled burgundy swirls in this pen. And we felt with such a warm material and also with such a beautiful deep red burgundy color that yellow gold trims just complement it so very well as the yellow gold nib. The Scribo Feel has a traditional piston fill mechanism that fills with 1.4 milliliters of ink, and it uses the gold standard of nibs. These are nibs produced using Omas's old tooling and manufacturing techniques. So if you're looking for something that writes like an Omas, Scribos are most true to that performance. This here is the 14-karat gold Feel the Flex nib, which we have available in extra fine or fine medium points. We have 5 of them on order, actually. Those were on a delay, so we'll expect to get those in at some point. So you can always leave your email in the back in stock notification, and we'll let you know when those do come in. These will give you just a subtle bit of line variation when you gently press the nib. So as you're pressing on the downstroke, you would get a nice broader nib. If you just write with no pressure at all, you would get just the standard nib size, which is really great for Spencerian, copperplate, or just giving your cursive writing a little bit of extra flair. Or if you prefer just a smooth nib writing experience that has a little bit of bounce but will just give you that right size that you're looking for, go with the 18 karat gold Feel the Writing nib. It's available in 7 different nib sizes, going from extra fine, fine, medium broad, double broad, and triple broad. Now, the price for the pen is the same standard, but there's upcharges for the extra fine, double broad, and triple broad, and I'll get to that. The ebonite feed is available on all nib types, 14 karat or 18 karat. It provides such a beautifully wet, ample flow that will keep up with any demand. So whether or not you're writing very quickly or you're flexing, this ebonite feed keeps up with a very nice wet ink flow. And despite not being able to post the cap on the back, I wish they would make a design that posts the cap on the back, the Scribo feel really does have a great size, and the feel of the ebonite is just so nice and warm and doesn't have that plasticky feel that could sometimes be associated with acrylic resins. So it has sort of a matte feel, even though it is polished up as well. And the facets on here give you great grip when you're holding the pen as well. And the size of it also is not too small without the cap on the back. So I could rock this. I feel that even though I want to post caps on the back of this pen, it still has a great shape, a good size, and a great hold with those facets on there that I will feel very comfortable writing with this pen for a long time. This edition is limited to 70 pieces, and it is not numbered, so there's no numbers anywhere on this pen. It is starting at $750 for most of the nib sizes, and then, like I mentioned, there's an upcharge for extra fine, double broad, and triple broad. Now, for something a little bit different and not exactly pen related, but still pen related because we're talking about writing, is the Leuchtturm 1917 Learning Journal. So you're going to be able to reach your learning goals faster with this new Leuchtturm 1917 Learning Journal. There are B5 size journals, so this does look fairly large. I don't have an A5 to compare it with, but it is larger than an A5 size. And it's formatted with what they call the Clear Learning System. It's a different system that there's some more information about it online that allows you then to fully immerse yourself in a learning program, create a learning program for yourself, and stick with it with a time-based 12-week system. So as you can see, kids, I'm showing you a storybook here. There's a lot of information in here to start off with that allows you to kind of gauge where your learning goals are going to be and what you want to get out of using the notebook. You're going to want to set your goals and track your progress using this book. You're going to take some tips and information that you learn in here about learning and then use them to learn whatever you please as far as your professional and education career, whatever it is that you'd want to learn. And it separates this notebook into 12 different weeks. So as soon as you get into the nitty-gritty of exploring what you're going to learn, you're going to use these dot grid pages then to record, as well as evaluate and reflect on what you learned throughout your learning experience. And this structure provides more clarity, I think, and then also allows you to then revisit the things that you've learned and progress off of them, and also to experiment a little bit too, because you need to be able to like check against what you've learned and then put like the wheels to the ground, I would say, and figure out like, well, how is this practically going to fit in my life, I suppose. There's some exercises in here that go from week to week and are able to then evaluate what knowledge that you've accumulated. So something like this, it says, write down what you're learning in a way that a child could understand. So it gives you some opportunities to rephrase what it is or rethink of what it is that you are learning, and then be able to give that back to the notebook. And that way it actually helps you learn better in the process. So here you have a learning summary, and I think at the very end it says, congratulations, you made it. Very satisfying at the end. So it does encourage you, I think, to reflect a lot and not just simply process information just to parrot it back later. I think it helps with retention and also with applying the knowledge that you've learned to make it so that you could then use it practically in some form or another. Now, I haven't used this myself, so I'm just kind of speaking as to looking at the different features of this notebook and evaluating what it might be able to be a good fit. Who would be a good fit for this? Maybe students, people who are learning, let's say a professional course, something that's for professional development, or for your own pleasure, like if you're learning gardening for the first time, or you're learning how to play an instrument. So you could go on to startclear.com for more information and tips about using the Clear system. This book, of course, with any Leuchtturm book, has got pretty beefy paper with it. It's 100 GSM, which is suitable for most types of writing instruments. And you could get it in either a black or Pacific green, which this is the Pacific green. It's a very handsome color. It's a very teal-looking color, for $39.95 on our website. So the question of the week comes from Kenshin Crafts. Kenshin asks about the Pokemon pen. So we talked about the Pokemon pen last week, that this is a platinum Pokemon pen set, and we're offering up as a giveaway. So Kenshin writes, that Pokemon set is super cute, and I always love Pokemon. But why did you guys only buy one? Did you guys not expect it to sell much? Just curious. My question for future videos is, what are your recommendations or tips for someone on a no pen buy diet? So first about the Pokemon pen. It was an overseas exclusive, not available for platinum dealers in the USA. Lamy did something similar with Pokemon as well, and that also did not make it available for any USA Lamy dealer. And as for your question, I would say ink up and use all of the pens that you have. Savor and appreciate what you already own so you won't feel the need to get anything else. Then, to remove temptations, I would create an email filter that automatically archives any promotional emails from pen retailers, including us unfortunately, so it skips your inbox entirely. Then, go and unfollow all pen shops and writing brands on social media. Don't watch any Goldspot Pens videos. Don't visit a pen show or a shop that sells pens. Now you could do a lot of things to remove temptation, but how about we could create a little bit of motivation to stick with not purchasing pens and then reward yourself later on. So you can make a chart where each week goes by and you don't buy a pen, mark it and put some amount, like whatever your budget could allow, $5, $10, $100, whatever. Set it aside so that at a later date you could then splurge for a new pen. And then for accountability, tell someone that you're not going to be buying any pens so they could hold you accountable in case you're feeling tempted to click the shop or buy now or add to cart button. Well, Kenshin Crafts, you don't have to worry about spending any money on this platinum Pokemon pen set because it's yours. Kenshin, since I picked your question to answer on this week's podcast, you win this giveaway. I can thank Paul M. for the suggestion on this next segment here, which is coming soon. So he suggested, let's do a coming soon to show you a teaser of a pen that we have not launched on the Goldspot Pens website yet. So on May 16th, we are planning on launching our latest Goldspot Pens exclusive collaboration. Meet the Opus 88 Mini Baby Beluga. Write with porpoise using this pocket-sized fountain pen. This is the first pen that I know of, at least, that has graphics printed on a translucent barrel. And the graphics we have to thank Tracy Marcioli. It's our first fountain pen design. It's a first non-retro pen design. Tracy's designed Autumn Leaves, if you remember Autumn Leaves Retro 51, Tea Time, and April Showers. We asked her to commission this design because we thought who to better design a full wraparound pen that we could do some screen printing with, and that's what we're able to do here with this Opus 88 mini pen. It's an eyedropper fill system, as most Opus 88 pens are, so you would be able to fill the pen by unscrewing the grip section and dropping ink directly into the barrel of the pen. I showed you how to do this in one of our latest quick tip videos, so you should know how to fill this pen. And it also has a safety valve that's here that would allow you then to either let ink into the feed by unscrewing the blind cap, or screwing it completely shut will shut off any ink flow from the rest of the barrel reservoir to the feed. So why would you do that? Because you don't want this pen to leak on you in case you're having dramatic temperature changes or pressure changes. You go from high elevation to low elevation, vice versa. That might cause the air to expand inside the barrel and then push ink out the front of the pen. This mini-sized pen has a number 5 size JoWo stainless steel nib, an extra fine, medium, broad, and a 1.4 millimeter stub. It will be available on the Goldspot Pens website for $79, and it is not a limited edition, although we will only have 100 pieces to start with. When we run out, if all of a sudden it sells out in one day, put your name down for an in-stock notification, and we will get more. And since we're talking about a special new exclusive that hasn't come out yet, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to win an Opus 88 Baby Beluga prototype. There's a slight difference between the caps on this. The prototype had the cap design one way here, and we changed it, so this is going to be a one-off type of pen. So you must be subscribed to the Goldspot Pens channel to be considered for the giveaway. You need to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and then leave a comment with a question you'd like for us to answer in a future episode of the Right Stuff podcast. I'll pick a question to answer in the next episode, and that will be our winner. Thank you for checking out this week's episode of the Right Stuff podcast by Goldspot Pens. Now, go out there, put your pen to paper, and write stuff. Until next time, stay inky, my friends. Take care.